Hello, welcome guys, Rufus Shinra here. Today I will be talking about Mr. LZD Patman's account. LZD reached to me, or should I say Patman, he reached to me for an account takeover specifically for Clan Boss, as well as a little bit of Gear Clans. The goal was to try and build a White Whale comp that would do close to 60 million damage. So I'd like to mention here that although I worked on the initial builds for some of these champions, I cannot take full credit for it because Patman went on and improved on the builds that I had provided initially, which were not quite reaching the expected results. We were still too keen on Ultra Nightmare, but that was something that he was doing before. They needed a little bit more tweaking. We were going to plan a second session, but he already went on and built up on them. And more power to you, Batman, because the comp rocks. So we'll take a look at it. We'll take a look at the gear, at the builds, and we'll see that in a minute. Alright, as you can see, we have some pretty good Legos, that being the understatement of the century. Double Valkyries, double Martyr, Hackon Smashlord, Lydia, Arbiter, Dracomorph, basically any Lego you can dream of for Clan Boss or for progression, you can find it here. It still doesn't have a Duchess or nor a Tyrant, but hey, who cares? With this kind of roster, we can put even unkillable teams to shame with a proper White Whale comp. And yeah, last but not least, there is also a Mashald, without whom this kind of comp would be very difficult to pull out. Alright, so next we'll be taking a look at the gear for the champions at the comp itself, and we will see it in action. Alright, so let's see how the comp works. A big shout out also to the Rat cluster. I had to talk with Valin because we needed a clan that had Ultra Nightmare in Void so that we don't run into affinity issues while testing the comp. And Batman is still in that clan. We joined it yesterday before doing the takeover, and he should go back to his regular clan right after I record this video, basically. So yeah, without further ado, let's see. So this is the comp. You have Sepulchre in the first spot, then you have Michelle, you have... Well, this could change a little bit, but in my opinion, if it works, no need to change it up. So the setup is pretty simple. So Valkyrie has 2 turns delay, so we won't use her counterattack until after 2 turns, and Martyr has 1 turn delay on defense up. So we'll use basically, let's go with the attack down if it can land. And finally, Sepulchre has 3 turn delay. Start with this. The others can go straight away and rotate their abilities. Okay, Michelle goes with I don't think Michelle took any turn. No, did he? Valkyrie, as we said, 2 turns, and Martyr 1 turn, so now she can use her counterattack. Sepulchre still needs to take 2 more turns. Go forward with the... And Michelle can use whatever. Draco can use the poison. Good. Now Valkyrie can use the counterattack. Sepulchre will have 1 more turn of delay. Then we will be using the defense down. The defense up. I think that we can throw it on auto from here. How it works and how it syncs up. Okay. So far so good. So we should always be on auto. The stun is blocked by Sepulchre. So this is why we didn't go for any counterattack masteries from the stun. Yeah, that's a pretty good setup. I guess it could work also against Green Affinity with change up in the setup for Sepulchre. Okay, so turn 8, we're starting to sync up in the 2-to-1 ratio. We'll start counting, starting maybe from next turn. It probably should sync up from turn 9. Okay, so let's count from here. This doesn't count. So 1 turn for Draco, 1 turn for Sepulchre, 1, 1, and 1. 2 turns for Draco, 2 turns for Sepulcher, 2 turns for Marta, 2 turns for Michelle, and 2 turns for Valkyrie. We are in sync, we are in business. This is the White Whale in action. And now Valkyries, look at the size of those shields on the Valkyrie with the defense up before throwing them. It is absolutely insane how big those shields are. And now we're pretty close to 1 million per round, which we'll probably get that right about now. And yeah, the comp is working beautifully. Alright, so I'll let the comp run, and I'll meet you up at around turn 40 to check out the damage and run again through the build one last time. Okay, and we're getting close to turn 40. I decided to cut back here because, as you can see, Michelle is starting to get some pretty heavy damage, and as soon as he dies, the run will soon derail. But we're already ahead of the turn count by about 7 to 8 million damage, which is great. And yeah, take a look at this comp. So the two best counterattack, arguably best counterattack champions in the game. I still have a preference for Skullcrusher over Marta, but in this specific comp, Marta definitely has her place. This is just a beautiful sight to behold. So with all the unkillables running around, and with even myself using an unkillable for quite some time now, it's always great to see a non-unkillable comp be tuned properly, with champions having great synergy with each other doing this kind of damage. Yeah, right as we mentioned it, Michelle got the hammer. Let's see how long they can survive without the Michelle. Starting to get some pretty big damage, but the whole thing here with double counter, we will be protected somewhat, at least against some of the AoEs, but the big deal here is the Valkyrie shield. Will she be able to keep putting up those shields with the defense up properly? No. Look like it might want to stop this comp, actually. I don't know. Well, he did do a lot more damage than I did, but might be linked to RNG, might be the setup. But hey, not shabby at all. 48.84 million damage dealt on Void Affinity. Take a look at the damage from each and every one of these. So Sepulcher Sentinel 7 mil, Breakermorph 19 mil, Martin 9, Valkyrie 6, and Michelle 5. And then I will show you right after that the run that Patman did, the 60 million run. So this was the 60 million run with Sepulcher at 10, Breakermorph 23, Marta 11, Valkyrie 8, Michelle at 7. Not a lot of difference if you notice, just a couple mil here and there, so I'd assume we could have gotten there maybe with 5 more turns. But hey, sometimes it happens with the random luck. I don't think that the setup was wrong, but still, pretty good comp, and the dream team for many a player, including myself, because I still don't have a Marta, but this would be good. So this comp could become much better if we instead run an Alton in it. Maybe somebody with mitigation like Duchess to help increase the defense and reduce the speeds, and also cast that Veil. So that would easily be a one key comp if we replaced maybe Marta or replaced Sepulcher with Duchess or with Alton. Other options can include Tyrant instead of Marta. That would be an absolute beast for this comp. So Tyrant Exlimor here, it definitely will be a one key. I'm also curious to see what this would do if we replace again Marta with a big damage Whirlim, and he does have a Whirlim with a strengthen buff. If tuned properly to throw his defense up and strengthen right before Valkyrie's shield, that also could help, but still. Very good effort, very good comp, and congratulations Batman on an awesome account. And yeah, hoping to see your progress in the next months and see what great things you can come up with. See which ones were recently used, hopefully them. Right, so Draco is running in stalwart gear. Pretty much the build that we've had yesterday, so 100% crit rate, 254% crit damage, 222 accuracy. This could be pushed up a little bit to avoid any random resistance. 3.6k attack and 3k defense. Could always gain some defense, but no rush on that side. So mainly the main take here is the stalwart gear, which will be very important for the comp moving forward. For the skills, for the masteries, we are following a classic defense tree plus offense. We could also maybe use this mastery here to counterattack in case we get stunned, but yeah, it could add a tiny bit of damage. Now on to the Valkyrie. So Valkyrie is running 251 speed and 7,576 defense. Just take a look at this number, take a minute to take it in, see how powerful this little girl is. And yeah, this is the build. So basically defense boots, and the rest is in speed plus some pretty fast speed. Everything else is in defense, as you can see. Martyr, he's running 4,500 defense, 225 speed, 101 crit rate and 213 crit damage with very low accuracy, because we could always use her as a backup attack down, but in this case she is not, which is surprising, but we guess it works well with the savage gear that she has. So she's mainly here as a damage dealer, which is also great. Crit damage amulet, I imagine, and crit damage gloves. Perfect. For the masteries, classic defense plus offense 3. Then we got the Mashald, same thing for the masteries. For the build, he is in a stalwart set plus a perception set to help with the speeds, and he's at 252 speed, 3.6 defense, 274 accuracy, and some decent crit damage crit rate that we got going on here with defense gloves, defense chest, and speed boots. Accuracy, banner, defense, and defense here to push up the rest. We could always level this to 12. Pretty good roll here, triple roll on the perception set. Last but not least, so we saw the double counter. We need to see Sepok Sentinel. He is running a mixed set, and you can start seeing a trend here at 4.4 defense, 209 speed, 230% crit damage, 86% crit rate, 224 accuracy. So again, we could push the accuracy to avoid getting resisted, but with all the counters and the double turns, that's mitigated quite a bit, and she will be hitting the clan boss, except maybe against green affinity, but that's not what we want to worry about. Alright, so this concludes today's video. I hope that you've enjoyed it, and if you've made it this far, please consider leaving a like and a subscription. It costs nothing and it goes a really long way. Again, big shout out to Patman. I really love what he's doing, and not only in Clan Boss, we might have the occasion to check out some of his teams for dungeons as well as for arena. Great player all around and great champions, and again, always a pleasure to see a strong counterattack team in the works, specifically a double counterattack with two of the most sought after counterattack champions, and in this day of unkillable teams running rampant. Alright, so with that said, this is Rufus Shinra wishing you a Merry Christmas, a happy fusion season, and I will be seeing you soon in another video. Rufus Shinra signing out.